Hey guys, it's the guys from the What If podcast, guys. Have you ever been reading a comic book and thought, man, this needs more World War I themes?
No.
Sometimes.
Or how about when you're reading your World War I history books, as you are oft to do, and thought, man, I wish this was comics instead?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Great news! Gentleman and Scholar Comics presents to you Over the Top Tales, a comic book with 2 World War I stories inside.
How many?
2! And neither are about biplanes. Suck it, Red Baron!
Oh.
Over the Top Tales is available at indieplanet.com/front/product/126499. Or just go to IndiePlanet and search for Over the Top Tales. We should be the top search result. Or check out theslimjames.com or giantsizecomicthings.com because I posted some stuff there about it. Available in digital or print edition.
Yay.
Get yours today or tomorrow, whenever you feel like it. It's the internet. It'll be there 24/7. Hello and welcome to the WIP, the What If podcast that's a work in progress. I am your host, the inventor of gym particles, the Slim James, joined by my cohorts, a giant man. It's Andrew the Giant Man, and the proud owner of a yellow jacket, the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
So today we got lots of stuff to talk about. It's been a while since we've conversed last.
As Stained would say.
Yes, and yes, it's been a while. And as Whirlwind / the Human Top would also concur.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So, lots of stuff has happened / come out. First and foremost, I went to go see Ant-Man.
Yep.
Did you?
Saw it.
Yes.
See, boom,
Awesome.
we're all here. Well, it's rare that it's something that we've all seen at the same time.
It's been a while, though. It's been a while.
Just keep
Since it's been out.
Yeah, well, I had a good time because I went to go see it, 2 weeks after it premiered on a Monday afternoon, so it was me and 2 other guys.
Yeah,
I went at noon, I think, the day it came out. Still, there was not many people there because it was noon on a Friday.
Yeah,
so-
boom,
and
shut
it was
down.
Ant-Man. So
Yeah.
there weren't a lot of people here.
No.
So, overall, I liked the movie. It might have been a bit corny, but to me, it felt much more watchable than, Age of Ultron, because it was a real movie. You had, a core amount of characters, they went through a story, and then there was an ending, whereas, Age of Ultron, you got, Ultron, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Hawkeye has a house, that's a story plot point, Hulk and Black Widow want a bone, kinda, Black Widow,
Have kids.
yeah, Black Widow's sad, Thor is also there, Iron Man is sad, or, pissed, Captain America's pissed at Iron Man, and then also, Agent Maria Hill, all the cameos in there, so, Age of Ultron was, kind of analogous to a crossover comic, a Summer Spectacular, where it's just and
giant size.
yes, movie.
Yeah.
And you assume that all of these characters actually have actual stories in their own solo series, although that doesn't really exist in movies, but Ant-Man. Granted, half of the movie was exactly like Iron Man 1, because the guy comes in to take over the company, he builds his own set of armor, he's a jerk. And then,
Sells it to the bad guys.
yeah, he wants to sell it to terrorists.
Yeah.
So, it's a little copy-paste there, but still, overall, it wasn't bad, and it wasn't too forced humor.
No, there wasn't all the
it
horrible
wasn't
gags.
It wasn't as Paul Ruddy as I thought it would be, which is good.
Yes.
I was worried that they would try to cram too much "I Love You, Man"
Make it
into a superhero movie.
make it Anchorman 3
Yeah.
this time. Antkerman.
Oh, God.
Whoa. So yeah, a lot of the jokes to me were a little flat. His cohorts, the thieves,
posse.
you guys are wacky caricatures. Woohoo! Okay, I know what's happening here. Let's just move along. But I did find the juxtaposition of the tiny battle and the normal rest of the world pretty funny.
Yes.
Where they're just having this epic battle, and it's just
Yeah.
choo choo.
But that brings up one of the issues for me, the science behind it. Because, I know it's comics and it's
Here
movies,
we go.
But, so the technology was he shrinks the space between atoms.
Yes.
But then he becomes smaller than an atom later when he goes to the microverse sort of thing.
Well, there's logic hole number one.
And then the other thing, if he can punch people because he has that much weight in him,
Yes.
how can he fly on an ant or walk on stuff if he's putting like almost 200 pounds of pressure on the size of a pin? Wouldn't that break a lot of stuff?
Perhaps.
Like skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Or
punch
like
somebody,
the-
you would...
Running on the gun?
the bathroom tile, like this little chips.
Yeah.
And yeah, he would crush Anthony.
Yeah. Anthony could not take off.
Yeah, he broke the tile. When
Oh, yeah,
hit
when he
the
fell.
floor. When he hit the floor, it
Yeah.
broke the bathroom tile.
Well, if he eases onto Anthony.
And
And then-
punching people like,
Well,
it's a
maybe
tiny
because...
little
yeah,
bit
but
of
ants are
force.
super strong, too.
yeah, but not
Yeah.
super strong. Like, wouldn't he go through people's skin when he punched them?
Probably.
Yeah, kind of like a pinprick.
pin.
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah, so
Damn
it wouldn't make them fly and do a backflip. It would
Just a,
pierce their skin.
yeah, it would just like sting a little bit. It's like he got bit by an ant. Ow! Shit! Just shake him off. And then you brought up the converse of that. If he makes things bigger, so if he goes bigger than human size, then like Giant Man would be like Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, you could just walk through
He'd
him.
have less density, and eventually he'd reach the point where he starts phasing through reality and falling through the earth. But he could be like maybe like 10 feet tall and sort of float.
Yeah.
So he could just be like a big balloon.
Dirigible.
Yes.
The giant man's that.
Yes. That's Ant-Man 2, Giant Man Zeppelin.
But he can just barely touch the ground, so he's just
He can sort of skip it along.
just heavy enough to touch the ground.
Like when you have a kid and you're just sort of placing them on the ground and letting them walk. Yeah, I mean, a good thing about this for me was that it helped sort of fill in some of the backstory of the inter-hero period between Cap's disappearance in World War II and the events of Iron Man 1. Like,
Right.
they had superhero technology in World War II, and then Iron Man comes along, but seemingly nothing in between besides Agent Carter being like, oh my god. But, now we see that, yes, there was the Ant-Man program in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because it was acceptable in the 80s. And on that note, I did like the reimagining of the Hank Pym character. It helped the story work and add a generational dynamic not really present in the other Marvel movies. You don't have any dad angles.
Right. I thought that was a big point about the movie too. It was a dad movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
big
Cats
I'm
in the
making
Cradle.
it
big time.
It's all about the dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's too moving towards what the comics are doing, having like the generational gap where there's going to be old Wolverine and then the
X-23
is Wolverine, and there's going to be an old Captain America,
And then
Peter
Sam
Parker's going
Wilson.
to be the old Spider-Man. and
Yeah,
Miles.
Grandpa Spider-Man.
Like, I think they're trying to force that in.
Yeah, the new class.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the new style. Yeah. Well, I mean, I could just start ranting again about how Marvel... It's not even like what Marvel's doing. It's the fact that I see the stories like every few months. Like, oh my god, they're reintroducing this character as a female. Like, okay, I get it, Marvel. You like patting yourself on the back about how friggin' progressive you are. Just get over it. Yeah, oh boy, Moon Boy's now Moon Girl. Oh shit. Finally, a generation of females have a hero to look up to. So, heroine, guys.
Heroin, yes. I think we can all look up to some heroin.
Yes. Another point of Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Falcon. There's a Marvel 2-in-1 quarter bin find for you.
Yeah.
That's your team up for the movie. Oh my god. Falcon's like, check out my friend. He's a friggin' thief who can shrink to the size of an ant. And Captain America's like, cool, whatever.
Oh, great.
Yeah, well,
That's
like,
what you bring
he
along.
would-
I'm the
No.
greatest living soldier.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have told.
Up,
He wouldn't have told Captain America about Ant-Man up until
No,
any time before that.
'cause he
They
got his ass
this
kicked."
dude. Yeah, but this dude just broke into one of our facilities, and Captain America didn't hear about it.
No.
And he fucked his suit up.
Yeah.
Clearly, he needed someone to fix it for him.
I think Falcon was just so embarrassed that he went out and
Yeah, and he
bought the
made
Tinkerer.
all the people
Forget.
swear that they wouldn't tell Captain America. 'Cause he's so
That should have been the
embarrassed.
hidden movie, the like after credit scene. Him going around trying to bribe people not to tell Captain America.
He has a meeting in the
With-
conference room.
yeah, with
he brings coffee and donuts.
With the friggin' West Coast
Yeah,
Avengers
yes.
lineup, they got Vision, Scarlet
Listen.
Witch, War Machine, all the heavy hitters that are the new Avengers.
We had an incident.
Like, I know you guys all kind of suck, but, like, I get my ass kicked by another guy who also kind of sucks, so...
Yeah.
I need you to just keep it on the DL.
And don't tell Cat.
When Cap walks in, like right at them.
Nothing.
What's going on, guys?
Don't tell Steve.
I didn't notice a lot of Easter eggs, and watching some of those dedicated YouTube videos, there wasn't a lot to be had.
No,
just
and
like
their quote Easter eggs were things that were like out in the open.
yeah,
Right,
and
they
like
weren't
inspired
hidden.
by the comics or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not really just like the.
Did you know Janet Van Dyne was such and such?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's
The
That's his daughter.
the the obvious one was the veiled reference to Splintermensch. No, he crawls on walls. Ugh. Slings webs, any size,
Right? Catches thieves.
just like ants.
Yeah.
Come for you.
I didn't know that Ant-Man's daughter, or Scott Lang's daughter,
his step.
turns out to be a hero.
Yeah.
The Young Avengers.
Yeah.
There's also
That could
in
be
the
a
Spider Girl universe. She was like Ant Lady or whatever, Ant Girl. You know, the '90s.
Yeah.
J2, A Next.
I think though in the current universe, his daughter's dead,
Oh.
Oh.
but he's alive.
Oh.
Even though it was like reversed for a while, and he got blown up by Jack of Hearts coming back.
Not Jack of
Oh,
Hearts.
really? It was the Scarlet Witch manipulating. That was
Oh dear Lord.
way back.
What's happening?
Oh my God, Scarlet Hearts. Yeah, so the post-credit scenes, new Wasp,
Yeah.
and Bucky returns. So it was good to have like post-credit scenes of consequence after like shawarma and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
actually have something that progresses the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Guess what? You know, maybe you alluded to it. He shrinks to subatomic size. We get subatomica.
The Psycho Man.
You know, maybe Ant-Man meets the Micronauts. Captain Universe. He's from there too.
I saw-
That's
I-
probably not going to happen.
No.
Let's bring in
But
some more people.
yeah,
Just pile them on.
You know, I think we were wrong though, because we all sort of said maybe there'll be an Infinity Gem
Uh-huh.
that he has to steal. That's what. But no,
That's what we
no
thought.
real reference to.
No, that's
the
what
Infinity
that's what
Gauntlet.
we thought. Or that's what I thought. He might have been having to break in somewhere to steal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But so then there's still two Infinity Gems.
and beyond.
Yeah. Which probably Doctor Strange will probably have something
Yeah,
to
that
do.
makes sense because he was a big part of it in the
Agamotto.
Yeah. You could just make one of his super duper artifacts an Infinity Gem to sort of
Yeah,
tie those
the
together.
Eye of Agamotto.
Yes, yeah,
There you go.
because it's not a direct rip of the whole like Infinity Gems storyline, but
Right. And it's nice that they sort of combine some of these all-powerful items, so
Yeah.
there's not a billion all-powerful items.
yes.
Great job casting the dick cop stepdad. I mean, perfect casting choice there.
Yes, that's another thing that's sort of like copy and paste from other movies. Oh wait, you telling me there's a screw-up single dad and he wants to impress his daughter, but the new dad is kind of a dick about the whole thing?
And he's a cop.
Oh man, who would have thought?
He's a real straight shooter.
Yeah.
The other thing that well, obviously they alluded to with those little things that he has that can make things bigger,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that he could potentially become
Giant.
larger.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, that ant should be floating away. He should be able to
Yeah.
crawl.
Or it might like pass out because it can't get enough oxygen,
Yeah,
or anything else.
or just explodes and just breaks apart into
Yeah, because
nothing.
who tells it when to stop growing? It just
Pim,
goes.
Mr. Pim,
Just keeps expanding until it just breaks apart
Yeah.
big Pim things.
into a cloud.
Yeah, that is.
Are you guys up to date on what's actually happening in Marvel these days? I only am because of the comics Sophia reads.
No, I mean, I bought like the last new one I read was Spider-Gwen. I
Yeah.
bought Silk as well.
Oh yeah,
Because I think Stacey Lee is going to be in at the Portland Comic Expo. I thought I read that. So either way, I found a new copy of #1 for cover price. I was like, let's do it.
Because like she's been reading this A-Force, which is an all-girls Avengers team, but it's all battle worlded. Like I
Yeah,
really read
you-
Howard the
you
Duck,
gotta-
so I don't see
Everything
this.
is battle.
Yeah, we
now.
gotta just ride out the storm and like we'll see you next year when they stop battle worlding and they sort of settle some shit.
Yeah, they said it's going to be like an 8-month jump, like when everything the new #1s are going to take place like 8 months after the events of Battle World.
Oh, so that you can then get the fill-in stories later.
Right.
Untold Tales of Battle World.
Exactly.
forget. Yeah, like I went to the Newbury Comics, or whatever, and they have the shelf of all the Battle World shit. I'm like, oh, a bunch of garbage.
I tried to pick up Hank Johnson, Agent of Hydra, because it looked good, but they sold out.
Who did?
The comic store down here.
Well, they don't have anything.
Fantastic Four, the other movie that came out.
Fantastic Four.
Did you see it?
Oh God, no.
Did you see it?
No. Did you see it?
Nope.
No.
So here we are. None of us.
I'm
have
not.
seen
I'm not gonna just sit here and rip into it too much because.
Well, everybody else has already done that
the
before.
director.
Yeah,
did it.
but like, so basically,
So it wasn't me.
my first line is bullshit? Question mark. An astounding 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. And the fact that I read the reviews and it wasn't just like, oh, it's not like the comics, so it's bad. The fact that it says it's a bad movie, like poorly edited because they reshot a bunch of stuff, so Sue Storm's hair color changes from scene to scene.
Well, she's turning some hairs invisible.
The darker one, so that it becomes brighter.
Right.
Exactly. I'm not gonna see it. I probably won't even ever see it.
I think when it comes out, I'll red box it.
Yeah.
You know.
Might get
I'll
the
spend
disc on
$1.
Netflix.
Yeah. Or if it goes to the library, I'll rent it from them.
There it is. Yeah, Fox's last-ditch effort to keep Fantastic Four, huge flop.
What do you mean it was their last... So, do they get, like, a certain number of tries?
Well, no,
before
but
they have to give it back?
but like
Three
they
times.
3 tries.
But they-
and you're out.
but they had said like even before this they were like, oh yeah, we'll probably this will be like a franchise, and now they're like, oh no,
Well, they've made 3 movies.
but like, you know, how they're not going to try again anytime soon, so they might like let the rights go back to Marvel or something. Basically,
Nice.
I think it shakes out to like the director wanted to go too hard on the sci-fi and like make it moody, and Fox wanted more superhero, so they compromised and made it a piece of shit instead. And like, you know, I read the rumors online that like Marvel still has the rights to the X-Men TV and maybe cartoon stuff, but they're not going to make their own because they're all about making their own contained universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not going to make X-Men shit. And they're like all pissy and like they don't want to hype any X-Men stuff because that takes money away from what people might see their movies or whatever.
Hyping their movies.
Yeah. So they have the movie TV rights, so they could use that as a chip to get the rights for the Fantastic Four back from Fox sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
He'll trade you.
Yeah. Because that way, you know, Fox wants all the X-Men so they can, you know, exploit that because they've seen, oh, hey, people will watch superhero TV shows, at least for the next few years until it explodes.
Yeah.
So we can make X-Men shows, but...
So it'll be heroes,
Yeah,
but as actual X-Men.
exactly.
They're just going to redo the animated series, but live action.
Yes.
That's probably neat.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but, you know, Fox is stupid, so they might just try to keep the Fantastic Four rights in limbo, the negative zone, maybe. Because the studio execs don't want to be the ones who lost the rights for Marvel to then turn around and make money off of it, even though Fox has proven they can't. Like, they don't want to be the ones who are like, well, why couldn't we make it? Well, it's because we don't try hard.
It's because you suck.
No, they're trying too hard. If they would have just sat back and, like, you hired this director to make a Fantastic Four movie. Let him make a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, but he wasn't making a Fantastic Four movie. He was making, like, a sci-fi horror movie called Fantastic Four.
Hijack Joss Whedon from Marvel.
I mean, I agree with the sci-fi part. Because, the Fantastic Four, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They go out into new places, meet aliens, go to the negative zone and the phantom zone.
More Psycho Man.
You get,
anything.
Psycho Man
Somebody
is the
who-
missing link that ties the two universes together.
That's all you need.
Ant-Man hangs out, and then in Subatomica meets the Fantastic Four. You know?
It's the team up they fight, and then team up with Psycho
Yeah,
Man.
Marvel 2-in-1s. That was all about the Thing.
Yeah,
It's all coming together.
all about that thing.
Ant-Man and Thing team up to fight Psycho Man. There's your movie. $100,000 made at the box office.
Be better than Fantastic Four.
cost $100 million to make. Oh yeah, how much did that movie cost to make?
I don't know,
A
but
lot.
yeah, they said it might not make back its budget. Yikes. So yeah, basically, Fox might just dick around with the Fantastic Four rights because they don't want to not have it, but they also don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my theory, if Marvel really wanted to make it work and was just willing to play ball and pay ball, do it Spider-Man style. They get the Fantastic Four back, and they serve as the sort of new base of the post-Infinity Gauntlet, or Infinity War, as they're calling it, MCU. Because, we're going to have all this catastrophe in the Infinity War and stuff, and that's going to be sort of the end of one era. Who's coming around next? What, Sam Wilson, Captain America? Bah. But if you have the Fantastic Four in the Infinity War, all this space shit is happening.
Yeah.
So that would inspire a team of scientists to want to go up to space.
And then they're out there, and as the Infinity Gauntlet's destroyed, it releases energy. And
Oh my god. There it is.
Through their spaceship, Fantastic Four.
Yep, and then
12 movies about
I don't know. I'm just saying they would be they would be the core.
Yeah,
they have their three, and then the other
Avengers
stuff.
Thing is done for now. Move on to
like Fantastic Four, and people
Fantastic Four.
They cross over with Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Fantastic Five, the movie, and your end game is Galactus equals the new Thanos.
Yeah,
Thanos.
And then you restart with the Avengers again.
Yeah, or the Defenders.
Champion.
Yes, the champion. Excalibur.
The GLA.
Yes.
The original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, fucking...
Martin X.
Yeah, Martin X and fucking Major Victory, Yondu, whatever his name is.
I hope it's really not the Infinity Wars, though, because that's in the Infinity Gauntlet, and then there was Infinity Wars, and then Infinity Crusade.
I think it's actually like the Infinity Gauntlet, but they just call it the Infinity War because that sounds like a better movie title than the name of an object. Noun. Proper noun.
Sweet glove.
Yeah.
Love the glove.
So, earlier this month, I went to the Boston Comic Con. And speaking of the Fantastic Four, I saw Doomed! Exclamation mark. A movie about the making of the 1994 Fantastic movie. The first time a piece of shit movie was made just to keep the rights. The documentary itself is fine, and it's an interesting, it has some interesting behind-the-scenes shots. And, like, the Thing get-up was actually kind of impressive. It had, like, moving lips and stuff. And for what was essentially a direct-to-VHS budget movie, it was a pretty good Thing setup. Now, granted, all of the other effects were shit.
But the Thing.
Although there was still something wrong with that, because the guy they got to play Ben Grimm was, like, 6'2" or 6'3", like, taller. And then the guy they got to play the Thing was shorter. And they just kept the guy in the Thing, like, they already built the costume. It's like, well, he's shorter now, so...
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It gets more dense.
Well, yeah, the rocks just sort of weigh him down and his spine compresses. He's got like a humpback. Yeah. He's like an old lady. Osteoporosis.
And a gimp leg. Dragging him around.
So yeah, the doc shows that everyone involved, like behind the scenes, or like everyone aside from the studio executives, really wanted to make this a faithful adaptation, and like the story was okay, like it's a basically direct to VHS budget level movie, so it's gonna kind of suck, but like they were trying. You get a lot of these F-list actors who are in it, and they're like, if they just released it, it could have been great. Like no, it couldn't have. And like the people who are in pieces of shit movie tend to think that like the fans like it, but they like it ironically. They don't think it's good. They want to laugh at it, and they might appreciate you, and maybe even appreciate some like diamond in the rough scenes or whatever. But ultimately, it's a piece of shit. You need to be cognizant of that. And if they had released it, it would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars once more. Like, the ending of the doc suffers from a lack of wrapping it up. It seems like there's like 10 minutes of them playing the playoff music and just people going, no, it would have been good. Shut up.
So that was actually released on VHS? No, the movie?
No.
It was never released?
The movie was never released. It just got bootlegged. Yeah, basically the story of the movie itself, some tiny little studio bought the rights to the Fantastic Four in like 1986 before Marvel would ever think about ever making, even licensing out to make big budget movies, like comic books and stuff. So then this tiny company made this piece of shit movie to keep the rights, because it's the same thing that like Fox has now. It needs to be in production for you to retain it, or else it reverts back. And so they made this movie just for it to be in production, to then sell the rights to Fox so that they could make money as an in-between. So, yeah.
Boy, everyone seems to do really well with that.
Yeah, so basically the Fantastic Four are just the victims of dickery. Even though nobody's ever made a whole lot of money off their movies. But people don't want to be the ones to let Marvel make a lot of money off their movies. It's great.
Then they'll be admitting failure. That they fucked up.
They just want to keep fucking up.
Three or four times. But that you saw that. Well, there was a list of movies that have better ratings than Fantastic Four. Howard the Duck was one of them.
Elektra.
The original Fantastic Four movie had a higher rating than this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just the fact that I read reviews that it's a bad movie. I didn't go see it. Like, I might have been morbidly curious if it was well-produced, but not Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Like, even I Netflixed Elektra and then didn't pay attention because it was so boring. Like,
I've seen Elektra.
There's ninjas and stuff. I'm sure she's a nice lady. But yeah, so the Boston Comic-Con. I went dressed as Spider-Man the first day. Fantastic Five Spider-Man, thank you. Got some nerds to holla. Got some autographs. Jim Calafiore signed, like, What If 94, I think, whatever. It has the Juggernaut.
Bitch.
Yeah. Frank Brunner
yeah, thanks for that.
made the classic Man-Thing #1 cover and some Howard the Duck, so you got...
The turnip head one.
Yeah, say Flying Turnip Man. The Dork, Evan Dorkin. Bill and Ted.
That's a classic.
Uh-huh. I didn't bother with Jimmy Palmiotti or Amanda Palmer because their lines are super long. Yeah, I don't know why he put Palmer. Either way.
Palmiotti and Palm.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I went for. Yeah, together, combined, they're the Palmer.
What about Thierry? Was he hanging out with them?
Yes, and I got him to sign something, and he's a nice enough guy. He seems like he's too cool for the room. He's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I've got my cool...
You came to see me.
Yeah.
Shades down. Yeah.
And then Jason Latour had quite a long line because Spider-Gwen's the shit, apparently.
Apparently.
I like it, but, I mean, it was quite a long line. People dressed up. Like, I had the Spider-Man. There were other Spider-Mans. Actually, more than, like, last year, I think. There was, like, a significant uptick of Spider-Men.
Downtake of Deadpool?
Yes.
Yes, not as many.
Big
Some.
time downtick. Last year, there were... Every other person was dressed like Deadpool.
Yeah.
A couple of cool groups of, like, X-Men.
Yeah.
Like, classic white shoulder pads Storm.
Nice.
Magneto, Double Fist, and some Bud Lights.
Yep. I was talking with a guy in line, and he gave me his VIP pass for the next day because he knew I was going to be trying to wait to see Stan the Man.
Eat your out. That keeps the interest going, and that gets me off.
And he wasn't going to be there, so I figured, like, the Spider-Man costume, I could just talk to people all day because I already look like an idiot, so it doesn't really matter what I say because I'm already putting it out there.
You're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
From the Fantastic Five.
They know I'm a big giant geek, so I don't have anything to hide, so I can just talk shamelessly about what ifs, and they're like, oh, cool. So he gave me the VIP pass, and I ended up waiting in line because the people there didn't really recognize my VIP pass, and because it wasn't mine and I didn't have anything to back it up, I wasn't going to press the issue too hard because I didn't want to, like,
should have tried to fight somebody.
Get kicked out or something.
Don't you know who I am?
Maybe it was a fake VIP pass. The guy just passing out to a lot of people to see.
Everybody online had a VIP pass.
So I didn't use it, but the line moved pretty quickly anyway. But I gave it to another guy dressed as Spider-Man.
Oh.
Because represent. And I saw him in line before, and they left because I don't know why. What else are you doing today? You just gotta wait for your Stan the Man.
Yeah, don't you have, like, an appointment?
No, it wasn't really, like, timed or anything. So, like, the whole Stan Lee thing, waiting in line, you see some characters. These are all appreciative, hardcore comic book fans, by and large. So, like...
Lots of large.
Well, you got the people who, like, have their little dollies full of, like, props and posters and stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's just more hassle than it's worth. Like, this woman was going to get him signed her Captain America shield, which is neat, but, like, I don't know. I'm a comic book purist. I go to comic book conventions for comic books, not a bunch of shit.
Well, that's like when we were in Portland, someone got a Howard the Duck bobblehead box signed. Like an unopened bobblehead.
Yeah.
What?
Joe Quinones didn't make that bobblehead.
No.
It doesn't even look like his drawing.
No.
Like, it looks like the friggin' bobblehead little...
Looks like the movie version.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
But I did see one guy who loved the West Coast Avengers.
There's always that one guy.
Like, I hate that man. Because he like had a West Coast Avengers shirt, and like he was just talking.
Was it homemade?
No, that's the weird.
You can buy.
Yeah.
You can buy West Coast Avengers.
And like he was talking way too much about like the Hank Pym storylines and Tigra.
To you or
no, to someone.
To anybody else?
Pretty much.
To the air.
Yeah, and he's like trying to explain it to his kid. He's like, "Aren't you excited to wait in line?" And the kid's like, "No, but this old man made Spider-Man." Kid's still like, "I'm a kid. Fuck that. That's boring."
This old man.
Yeah, he played too. So anyway, I got my copy of Amazing Spider-Man 45 signed. Because a reprint was the first comic I ever owned, but I got the original to close the loop.
Yeah.
And then I got Stan the Man to sign it because he wrote that. There's one thing he actually wrote too. Like people getting like any random shit signed by Stanley. I'm like,
the newest comic they just bought that day.
yeah, like oh Spider-Man #1 by like Humberto Ramos. Like, cool, I guess, but like he wrote a bunch of comics. He has a bunch of credits.
Yeah.
You could, like, I get not everyone has access to the Silver Age stuff.
Yeah, but everyone could get Ravage #1
Exactly.
for a
Yeah,
quarter.
they sell those by the pound.
25 cents a pound.
So, like, you know, there's hundreds, if not 1,000 people in line or whatever. So he's basically a 92-year-old signature factory. So you don't get...
Caesar just had a stamp.
You don't...
His signature.
Too heavy.
You don't get small talk of any sorts. So, like, I was excited because he actually looked up when he signed mine, and we made eye contact. And I said, you know, thank you, you're an inspiration. That's it.
Did you hug him?
Yeah.
I know you can't see that, listeners, but
He did the hugging motion. Universal hug sign.
just reach down there and hug him, see what happens.
Yeah. His bones shattered. I've got
A
osteoporosis.
cloud of dust.
Or it turns out he's a robot the entire time. Life model
His
decoy.
face falls off.
X-51. But
Did you try and say anything? Like, did you try and ask a question real quick?
no, there's no time. It's one after the other. Like, I was excited that he looked up because he's got another guy. The guy in front of me got like 4 things signed, including 2 copies of Iron Man #1.
Is there a limit on how many things you can get signed?
Well, no, but they cost like $80 a shot, so I think that's sort of where they bring in the limiting
The
factor.
guy paid $80 per thing?
At least.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, for one thing, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I paid $80 because I really wanted him to sign my Spider-Man 45.
Jesus. That
But,
guy's
like,
probably turned around and sold those things.
at least one of the Iron Man #1s.
Yeah, why would you need to?
Exactly. And it was the Silver Age one, not like Heroes Reborn, Iron Man #1. What is this garbage? Rob Liefeld makes me have cancer. Yeah. So, like, because I had spent money for the Stan Lee signature, and I got the whole wedding thing coming up, I didn't spend a lot of money on comic books. Went quarter bin diving, or dollar bin, mostly. Which is, it's still good, because you get stuff there that I'm not going to find around here.
Right.
A lot of, like, the 70s and, like, early 80s stuff, which is still cool. Some Man Things, some Machine Men.
So many man things at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So many.
And a couple of reader quality Silver Age issues. Doctor Strange 178 with Black Knight, and Captain Marvel #13, which is in shit condition. All colored in with ink.
Oh, I saw
So,
it.
yeah, somebody drew on it and cut out a coupon and stuff.
Coloring book.
It's sort of neat in that some kid loved this comic book.
It's an
so
artifact.
it's a piece of his history, but seriously, kid, come on.
Damn it, you jerk.
I'm sure you really made a bunch of money on those seeds you cut the coupon out for. So anywho, can't wait till next year. Speaking of Fantastic Four, and speaking of Stan Lee, what if Volume 1, Number 11? What if the original Marvel bullpen had become the Fantastic Four?
And now, Mr. Marvel himself, Stan Lee.
Hi, true believers. You may think you know the origin of the Fantastic Four, but until you see the far-out version we have waiting for you, you've only scratched the surface. And no dyed-in-the-wool Marvelite wants to be a surface scratcher, right? But hey, not only will you see the world's favorite superhero team battling the pernicious puppet master, you'll also catch them starring on Dick Clark's TV show. How'd that happen? Don't touch your dial. You're about to find out. Enjoy.
I know you were always thinking to yourself, what if Stan Lee became Mr. Fantastic?
He is Mr. Fantastic already.
It's true. He is fantastic. He's sort of long and like lanky with his, arthritis bones. He looks like he's stretching sometimes.
He must be smart. I mean, he's
Relatively.
done okay. For
Yes,
himself.
I mean he's managed to like steal credit for like all of his artists' work in the. I invented Spider-Man and Iron Man and Spider-Man and Spider-Man. Steve Ditko can go to hell.
Oh. Is he in there?
No.
Oh.
He might be the Invisible Man.
The Mole Man.
Yeah. So basically, this is art and story by Jack Kirby.
Oh.
This is around the 2001 Space Odyssey / Machine Man era, where he is a one-man comicking crew. He writes, he draws, he sort of edits, and then he just passes it on. Because I think he got cranky about the first Silver Age rush, went to DC, and then came back, and they were like, yeah, you can just stick to stuff. We'll let you have free reign on Machine Man.
Yeah.
And this cool what if. But, speaking of Jack Kirby, apparently, maybe today, the 28th of August, around then, it's his 98th birth anniversary. Hooray.
Anniversary of your birth.
Yeah, so it's, I think Marvel's like, it's Kirby Week, and his granddaughter has like a charity for comic book artists who've fallen on hard times.
See, you?
Which, doesn't make me want to just go full steam ahead into quitting my job.
Not if there's a charity in place.
Yeah, well, it's like, you think about it, like...
Well, I guess it's a backup plan.
Like, is that Frank Teixeira, I think, we saw last year? He did a bunch of Wolverines, and, like, I took a picture with him because he signed it. He's, like, charging a couple bucks, and I think, to me, he's famous. But really, he might not have had solid work for a few years, so, like... It just seems like you idolize people in comic books because, like, they've made it. But, like, that's not necessarily long-term cash success.
No.
So, that's what you do with, like, Joe Quesada did. And just start running Marvel instead of drawing.
Why not?
Exactly. So, instead of outer space adventures, the Marvel office gets a cosmic ray letter bomb.
Oh.
Yeah. Anthrax. So, you get Mr. Stantastic, the Invisible Woman... Flo Steinberg.
Is that a real person?
Yes, Marvel's preeminent secretary of the Silver Age.
Oh.
Sexist.
Yeah. Jeez. No female CEOs.
A woman should know her place. The Human Torch is Saul Brodsky, who is a wayward comic artist turned Stanley right-hand man and designer of some famous logos, such as Spider-Man. I think he did the first Spider-Man logo. Which, I mean, it's just some, like,
A spider and webbing?
No, it's not even that. It's just, like, block lettering.
Oh.
But, like,
the title?
Somebody's got to actually draw that the first time.
I guess.
It doesn't just spring, from Stan Lee's head, despite what he claims. I am like Zeus. Spider-Man sprang from my head fully formed. And the Thing is Jack Kirby, because surly plus cigars.
Is the Watcher supposed to be somebody?
No, I don't think so.
He looks like a regular person now.
Yeah. Right? Well, that's the thing about the Watcher, like, especially in the first series of...
He didn't have that huge...
Yeah, he didn't have, like, a standard design. He was just sort of a guy.
Well, so, who is the Human Torch?
Saul Brodsky.
Oh, sorry.
I already said that. You remember?
I was that.
Wayward comic artist turned Stan Lee, right-hand man,
sorry.
and designer of logos such as Spider-Man. Do you remember that conversation we just finished?
I do. What did he do again? He designed
Spider-Man logos?
Like the spider
you mean like the spider and the webbing?
No.
No. So, in this world, is Namor real? Maybe? He got a letter bomb, too. It's weird because like
Who's sending these bombs?
it turns out everything in this reality is like the Marvel comic universe except the Fantastic Four's existence. All the other characters exist.
Huh.
But
That makes sense.
yeah. So eventually, it's revealed that the Skrulls sent out these boxes.
Those crafty cows.
Bastards.
Look how sad this one looks.
And I think they defeat the Skrulls or something. Like, you know.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah. So, you know, getting to our overall review. The art is Kirby, no doubt. It's got like his friggin' sausage fingers or whatever. And like the heavy sort of angular shading. You know, I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you picture Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four, thick shadows. But it's sort of to be kind of a dick about my description. I found it lacked the real grandeur of the actual Fantastic Four tales. And the story is simple and to the point. It's a neat novelty, but if you're not a comic nerd who would appreciate the original Marvel comic bullpen, this means nothing to you.
I mean,
here are some like regular old people who became the Fantastic Four, and they have like a generic Fantastic Four tale.
yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I don't even think that would be popular today. Like, if they did Fantastic Four and it was current creators.
Joe
cares?
Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Palmer.
Sounds great.
And yeah, they're all there. No, it's yeah. I think it was sort of like Jack Kirby's like, I've got this idea for this.
And they go, okay, just fucking do it.
Yeah, cool. Whatever. It's what if. Nobody cares.
You're not going to DC, right? You're staying here. Okay.
Oh, you are. Whatever.
Make it anyway.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the whole Fantastic Four, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby portion of the show. X-Men! Apocalypse.
Oh.
He sure looks like Ivan Ooze, as the meme goes.
Yes. Have you seen it?
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who...
The movie Apocalypse.
You don't know who Ivan Ooze is?
I don't know
He's the bad guy from the Power Rangers movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's who. Apocalypse looks just like him.
Yeah.
I was never big in Power Rangers. I watched my Beetleborgs.
Come on.
Big and bad.
I have to ask you to leave.
I mean, it's hard, because what do you want to people to do for an apocalypse? He has like a trapezoid head.
Yeah.
How do you represent that in reality?
I mean, I think...
So like a head cowl thing isn't the worst idea.
No.
It does look sort of like Ivan Ooze, which is bad, but like...
I would have been okay with them going straight Egyptian...
Like a
yeah.
pharaoh sort of headdress thing?
Like how he was for reals.
Yeah, Rise of the Apocalypse.
Yeah. Because this is all the set pictures that I've seen are all in like
Egypt.
His tomb or something.
Yeah, and Saba Nur Plaza.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's...
Saba neighborhood.
In my Saba neighborhood? Good lord.
Rogers.
Mr. Saab's neighborhood. So yeah, it's one of those. It's gonna be one of those things where, like, especially in the X-Men movies, they have a hard time translating it to. It's like the Juggernaut, where they, instead of giving him the Juggernaut helmet, they gave him a cool, like a helmet, but it looked like an old school leather football helmet.
I feel like
It looks like it's made out of stone.
Yeah, they need to go more CGI. Like, they can do it, and it looks fine now doing CGI. It's not like this is the mid-90s, and it looks awful.
If you can make Michael Douglas look young.
Do you hear he got like throat cancer from eating too much pussy? That's what he claimed.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
He's like, I ate too much pussy.
Yeah, that'll
And
do
Catherine Zeta-Jones is just shaking her head.
God damn it, Michael. So yeah, Psylocke though. If I were a 16-year-old boy, that's masturbatory fodder right
16.
there. Olivia Munn.
29 years old.
Boom.
Oh.
Like,
for me.
it's if Apocalypse looks terrible, like Psylocke looks perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, she's the perfect person to play it, because Psylocke in the comics was always drawn as like, she's Asian, but she's drawn as kind of looking white.
Yeah.
She's
Which
never
is what
drawn.
Olivia Munn is.
Exactly. She's never.
They were trying to show that it was like a white person's mind in an Asian person's body.
Ah, yes. Good old Betsy Braddock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Where are the Captain Britain rights? Are those part of Marvel or
That's
Fox?
actually being done by BBC.
Okay.
They have their own thing going on.
And it's more of like a Monty Python style loose sketch comedy.
Benny Hill.
Or maybe some Keeping Up Appearances
Yeah.
with Captain Britain. Richard!
They have the
Raise
X-Floats.
yourself.
Brian Braddock! Raise yourself! That's what happens when he dies and needs to be resurrected or something.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And then Black Knight would be fit in there nicely.
And Pete Wisdom.
Oh, yes.
Did you
Yep.
see any of
Chris
the...
Kirkpatrick.
Olivia Munn had been posting, like, Instagram videos or Vines or something, just short videos of her training.
Sweet ninja
She was
skills?
Training, yeah, sweet ninja skills with a sword, and then she had, like, prosthetic, like a thing, like her
Energy daggers.
Yeah.
blades. But yeah,
Her
it was like
purple pointy thing?
yeah,
Psionic
that
energy.
thing. A thing on her arm, so later they'll probably CGI something.
Nope, that's what it is.
Probably
Some
some
pur-
like tinfoil.
Look purpley. Got a purple all over
Spray
you.
paint some purple.
As Ivan Ooze would want. Yeah, so we're getting some Archangel? Did he pop in? Was he in the concept art? Is there anything real
Yeah, there
life
was-
confirmed?
There was concept art, and then they had pictures. I think it was all concept art actually.
Yeah.
Him like chained up somewhere, and then one. It was in the Entertainment Weekly. A picture, a rear shot with the metal wings.
They really need to get Mr. Mister's Broken Wings as the end credits music for that movie.
Or just the entire Wings catalog.
R. Kelly,
Any
I believe I
Wings
can
song.
fly.
Yeah, or the sitcom Wings with
Yeah.
Tony Shalhoub and Sandman. I need to be a better mechanic so that I can impress my daughter.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And Tony Shalhoub's like, I'm going to drive this cab, but first I'm going to clean it a lot because I'm monk.
Yeah.
See? And then blonde chick who was in nothing else ever.
Well, she's
Howdy,
living
y'all.
off that Wings money.
That wants us man from Nantucket.
How come Wings isn't on?
What if Volume 2, number 101, Archangel, Death!
And Disobedience.
Yes. So basically, you were asking before we started recording about why Apocalypse chose Angel to be his fourth horseman.
Right, because, I mean, Apocalypse is always the best. He wants the best mutants to be part.
Yes.
And then he picks Angel. He can fly, but he's kind of strong. Not really super strong. I mean, he can lift a person and fly with them.
Yeah. And he's got the superhero, like, ripped abs.
Yeah,
That's
doesn't he
true.
just
He
have
looks nice.
regular man strength?
Yeah,
He
pretty
just
much.
has wings?
In fact, he has hollow bones.
Right, so he...
He's actually,
Yeah.
pretty
He's like
weak.
Samuel
Punch a
Jackson.
bird. It'd be like punching a bird.
Well, I mean, this...
So,
Shatter him.
I think, at the very least, it was opportunity, because take these broken wings. He gets them ripped off by the Marauders, and he's all fucked up. So he's in a vulnerable state. So Apocalypse can be like, I'll fix you and make
Just
you
a regular
better.
dude with hollow bones.
Leukemia.
I mean, who are the other horsemen? It was Wolverine.
Like, the first four horsemen were Archangel and
There's a
three
shit ton of
dudes.
them.
Yeah.
Like, some person who can, like, make plants die.
Oh,
Famine, pestilence.
Pestilence.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Carrion?
Famine, pestilence, and war.
Right. But
Death.
who else?
The
was
original ones, those were their names.
Like, right.
Yeah.
Pestilence and famine and war.
Death.
But then Death became, or Archangel became Death.
Yeah.
Why?
Psylocke.
So yeah, it's like Archangel's actually the heavy hitter of that group because it's three other no-name mutants who. It was just, Apocalypse was just preying on the weak-minded. So like,
Where did the original Death go? Did he die?
no, I think Archangel was the original Death.
Oh.
He was the fourth horseman. He's Ric Flair, and friggin' Pestilence there is friggin' Arn Anderson or Tully Blanchard or
I'll have to read that.
Chris.
I got
Benoit.
the first appearance of the Four Horsemen
Yeah.
at Comic-Con. And the cover is just a big picture of
Pixel.
picture of Angel with a big X through it. It's like Angel no more.
No. So Apocalypse preys upon his weakness and gives him sweet death metal wings.
Death metal. Well, there is On Broken Wings.
Yeah.
Death metal band.
Mister.
Based on Archangel.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
all
pretty sure they
songs
reference
about-
him.
Songs about Archangel.
And actually, speaking of Archangel, WWE legend Cody Rhodes,
Yep.
he had a sweet Archangel
Costume?
yeah, like a overcoat with a thing that had the friggin' blue and magenta stripy deal. It's distinctly Archangel. Nobody else has blue and magenta stripy costume.
No.
So he's a big giant comics nerd. Thus, at SummerSlam, he wrestled Stephen Amell.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Not as bad as you'd think. Stephen Amell, he did a kip up and gave him a running big boot to the stomach.
Mid boot.
Yeah. And then he also did a dive off the top turnbuckle because it was a tag team match. So Stardust and his partner, Cosmic King Wade Barrett,
Oh.
and he was teaming, and Stephen Amell was teaming with a guy called Neville, who's their
Long bottom?
Yep.
no, he's their high flyer du jour. He does a sweet twisting shooting star press.
What?
He spins while he flips.
And does he land on his face?
Sometimes, but he's one of those guys who's got a limited shelf life. They'll be like, look at he's amazing. He's an underdog, and then
Because he'll break his neck.
he'll
he
just be
fucks up one time.
yeah, and then
Yeah, you're done.
yeah, pretty much. So they won. Stephen Amell won, and it was weird because his costume was not flattering. He wore
was
some. He just wore some shorts and knee pads and boots, and I don't know if he had wristbands, but he looked very
He should have worn the Green Arrow costume.
yeah. He needed to be or
Yeah.
some sort of spandex upper or something. He was just a guy who went to the gym and took his shirt off, and he's in okay shape, and probably better shape than most people, but he compared to wrestlers, he looked like a shitty plain guy, and it's you need give me some sort of a comic booky looking.
He's probably on vacation right now, so
He's
in
not
between.
even working out.
Well, they're probably
or he's working
done,
out more.
They're probably done with the season of Arrow that's going to be coming on. They're
Yeah.
probably in between that and then shooting the next season, so he's taking a break and getting soft.
He did a sweet hip toss. That was his.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did he shoot anybody with arrows?
No, I wish he had a sweet boxing glove arrow.
Did he even come out with a bow and choke someone with the bow?
No, he had on a hood, and then he took it off.
It wasn't attached to anything else, just...
Just the hood. So it was like Taz with a rag on his head.
Oh, Taz! It's Taz.
Sure is.
So yeah. Anyway, that was another thing that brought up, and just yeah. So now Stardust doesn't have anything else going on because he was building up to this all summer. He was Twitter feuding with Stephen Amell.
Is he going to be on Arrow now? He's going to be the
As
villain,
himself.
the villain of the new season.
Stardust. Hey, what's up, Goldust? I'm not Goldust. I'm
Shoots him in the
Stardust.
face.
point blank.
Yeah. So anyway, Archangel. In this tale, rather than becoming Death right away, Archangel rejoins the X-Men or X Factor, when they were the 5 original X-Men, the first X Factor.
But they couldn't be called X-Men.
Yeah. He rejoins them right quick. And then he goes overboard and starts killing some bad guys when they're fighting them. And Cyclops is like, whoa! Yikes! You need to talk about something?
What happened?
And eventually they get into confrontation with the Marauders, the band of mutant killers led by Sabretooth, whom ripped off Archangel's wings in the first place. And they killed some of the Morlocks, because Morlocks are pussies.
So do they just think, Sabretooth's okay because he wants to kill people, so even though he's a mutant, meh.
Are the Marauders not mutants?
Well, but they're mutant killers,
Yeah. Maybe they're just dicks. I don't know.
Yeah, it says you let the humans cut off my wings.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but come on. Well, you let them do it, so now I'm gonna fucking kill you. All the X-Men, you're all dead because you let them do it.
Hey.
Get over it.
Well, imagine if you had one thing special about you, and the other thing special about you was hollow bones, and you would just be bitter and hate the entire world.
But I don't think that they let them do it. They're all right.
They could have helped. Where's Cyclops with his eye beams?
He's like, I'm not even going to open my eyes. I can hear it. Nah.
Yeah, he's literally turning a blind eye. Son of a bitch. So in this confrontation with the Marauders, Archangel reveals himself to be a cold-blooded killer, just starts slaying everybody. He is death, son of a bitch. And the other horsemen, Pestilence, Famine, frogs, toads, you know.
Rivers of blood.
Yeah. All of them show up. And so then they're the four horsemen. And, you know, Ric Flair's there, Chris Benoit, Arn Anderson,
Maybe
Lex
just
Luger.
galloping everywhere.
Yes. They slaughter the X-Men, Juggernauts, all the good ones. And Apocalypse is pissed because he was like, I only wanted you to kill the shitty ones. Leave the good ones. So we can make a better race. And Archangel's like, yeah, too fucking bad. I'm putting on this skull now. I'm death. So, you know, overall the story's fine. A little bit of the who the fuck is this with the Marauders because they show up and they're a bunch of fucking randomers.
Yeah.
A group of randomers. It's like, oh, Mega Bloks is here and fucking
Playmobil.
yeah. And the Morlocks too are like, oh, there's fucking Newt and fucking
Artie,
Klong and
Leech,
Ratman.
Caliban.
Yeah, him too. It's fine twist with the Archangel being such a killer and even Apocalypse is like, whoa. So it makes Angel look like a total badass, which I don't think he ever was in any sort of Marvel continuity. He's always like, oh, I wish I could impress my rich dad.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I'm sad I don't have wings anymore.
Because I cut him off trying to impress my rich dad.
Oh, no. However, this whole book is hampered by some very 90s art. Basically, when I read this, I hear the noise, whoa! It's getting extreme, and like people have some wacky jaws going on. Or like some sort of...
That's a strong hug right there.
some manga inspired like hair and eyes.
Yeah.
It's that weird hybrid 90s style.
Sabretooth's hair.
Yeah, it's extreme.
Looks like Blanca.
Yeah.
Street Fighter. He's even crouched over all the time.
You know, this though, this
Spin
one
dash.
this one panel at the very end of the comic inspired an Overpower hero card. You remember Overpower trading card games? I bring them up from time to time because like I was the only one who ever had any. Nobody wanted to play with me. Sons of bitches. But he got his own Angel of Death
So sweet.
hero card with the skull on.
Oh, nice.
When he can throw his feathers,
Yeah.
Yes.
did they come back?
No, he just grows new ones. Constantly.
Yeah, I don't know where he gets all his new feathers. Like you think he'd have to metabolize some or something. He makes metal.
like those-
his
yeah.
body makes metal.
Those look like they came off of his wings, but in the beginning they were like actual knives.
Yes.
Like with
Well, some
handles
feathers
and
are
everything.
bigger than others.
No, but like with little handles on them and everything too.
Maybe he just has lots of... He didn't get new wings. He just got lots of tiny arms that hold knives and swords.
Well, like, as we see in the comic books, it turns out that his wings have grown in underneath the metal wings because he gets back his angel wings in like the 90s or whatever. I had that comic book and like I think it's one of those ones where like the cover got ripped off. I'm like, son of a bitch. But it's like he's there, fucking. Oh my god, I'm sprouting new wings or something. So like maybe he has real wings underneath, and so he can. Those are actual feathers that are covered in metal. And so he can reproduce them at the rate that a bird reproduces its regular feathers. Which is to say, some. What do you think about the Fantastic Four? Do you want to see him come back to Marvel?
Yeah. I'd like to enjoy watching the Fantastic Four.
I think eventually I think it all just needs to go back.
Yeah, I don't know
Back
about...
home.
I don't know. If they got the X-Men, though, that would be too much for them to handle at once.
Well, yeah,
Because the X-Men are a whole
humans.
fucking other thing, you know? So, like, yeah, they might have better costumes, but it's like, we already have movies with too many characters in them because they're like, oh my god, we need to give friggin' Yellow Jacket some screen time.
Yeah, well, maybe they could, even if they brought it back, just have it be a separate universe. So. And then one time there's a crossover.
Franklin
Because
Richards.
yeah, even better.
Exactly.
I was going to say, Mr. Fantastic just tears a hole, willy-nilly,
Willie
slips
Nelson.
through it.
Friggin' Mr. Fantastic's the
He
worst.
does. Tearing holes and slipping through.
Fister Fantastic. So in closing, I will remind you to follow us on Twitter at The Slim James or at giant_size, theslimjames.com, giantsizecomicthings.com. The WIP What If podcast is on iTunes, on Stitcher, on YouTube, and on Vimeo. So go out there and find us. And remember, don't spend the rest of your life asking, what if?